Hello, my name is Gretchen Rinnert. I'm an assistant professor at Kent State University. I teach in the School of Visual Communication Design, primarily teaching interaction and motion. I'm here to share my recent educational project, Collaborative Social Action, a motion design exploration. As a design educator, I'm always looking for ways to teach my students about working in the real world. I strive to offer experiences that allow for learning through making, and in the same note, I want young designers to benefit from trial and error. I worked with Professor Frank Armstrong of California State University to produce a collaborative motion project. Skills for collaboration are essential to today's design community. Designers are working with clients remotely through email, conference calls, or even through a project management system. Designers often work with other professionals and teams and often meet online to exchange information and to move a project forward. I'd like to begin by breaking down the rationale for this project. In Multiple Intelligences, Howard Gardner explains that understanding of crucial ideas and concepts is most likely to be achieved if important subject matter is approached from a variety of perspectives, which can activate the range of our multiple intelligences. Gardner continues to explain that individual understanding occurs when one is able to apply skills within an educational setting to a new experience in which the knowledge they've acquired is relevant. Gardner proposes that education be approached through performances, where a student can demonstrate their understanding. These performances can be shown through application of ideas, theories, and principles. I see design as a performance of understanding. In many ways, the Design Studio course is essentially a space for performances of understanding. We require students to demonstrate their ideas, research, understanding, and logic through design projects. We ask them to present and defend their work during class critiques. We begin this process at the beginning of each semester, building on each new concept as we move ahead. You may be wondering, what is a collaborative classroom? In a collaborative classroom, the lecturing, listening, note-taking process may not disappear entirely, but it lives alongside other processes that are based in students' discussion and active work with the course material. In response to the growing need for designers to be digital collaborators, we put together a motion design project during the fall of 2010. Design students and educators, separated by distance, culture, and instruction, work together to create a film to inform the public on the issue of toxins in our society. Faculty and students worked together to determine the topic, the message, and the final script. Students worked in groups to create their own portion of the film, with each student being responsible for 15 seconds of animation. Students were not expected to create a seamless style, but to create a seamless and cohesive message. The film shares a consistent audio, which helps unify the final outcome. The artifact produced by the students acts as a representation of their teamwork. All participants worked remotely and leveraged online technologies. Participants included undergraduates, sophomores, juniors, and seniors in college, enrolled at Kent State University and Chico State University. This broad group allowed the exchange of knowledge and helped to educate the novice designers, while also allowing more experienced students to act as mentors. Chico State students were enrolled in typography, and Kent State students were enrolled in advanced kinetic and sequential design, emotion and interaction design class. Here are several examples of the work completed.
Are you such a fashion victim that you would die for your clothes? Nearly all commercially produced jeans are woven and dyed with chemicals known to cause cancer. Fabric dyes once made with natural ingredients are now synthetically made and chemically based. Cotton is often treated with pesticides and is the most chemically laden crop in the world. These chemicals show signs of causing cancer and are proven to harm the environment. Health risks are growing more apparent, creating a demand for organic and natural materials. Bamboo is replacing cotton, and natural dyes are taking over the market. Don't be a fashion victim. Buy clothes made with natural and organic fabric and dyes to reduce your fashion footprint. If you have one of these, or one of these, then you most likely have a lot of these. But did you know that toys, bottles, and formula packaging most likely contain the harmful chemical BPA? So what is BPA and why is it so bad? BPA is a key element in the plastic making process. Now, here's the bad news. Studies have shown that BPA will damage the developing brain tissue in young children. Look for plastics with these symbols, as they contain BPA. What can you do to reduce your child's risk? Limit their exposure by using glass products or other plastics that are BPA-free. Sometimes a simple switch can make all the difference. What toxins are you cleaning with? We use cleaning products every day thinking we are sterilizing our homes. Studies have found that toxins in many cleaning products cause health effects such as asthma, nerve damage, and reproductive abnormalities. In reality, we are doing more harm than good. We can continue to keep our households clean without exposing ourselves to the dangerous toxins by going green. By mixing a few natural ingredients from your home, you can create an all-purpose cleaner without putting your health in danger. Just combine a half cup vinegar, a quarter cup baking soda into a half gallon of water. It's easy. By going green, you stay clean without the toxic side effects.
As part of our evaluation, we administered a survey to students. We collected responses that gauged their learning experience and the skills they developed. The survey consisted of multiple choice questions and fill-in-the-blank responses. We had several positive responses from students, as 19 out of 25 students found the project to be educational, and 16 out of 25 students felt they learned a great deal about collaborative and remote learning. We also had some negative responses from students. Almost half of the students felt they did not share a common design vision, and more than half did not feel that their group shared resources. And 12 out of 25 students did not feel their group maintained communication throughout the project. The survey asked students to identify problems that they encountered during their collaborative exercise. We found that there were 3 common threads, the most common being communication issues. We found that there were consistent problems with a lack of response from other group members, a lag time in response, and communication misunderstandings. Many students found time management to be a source of problems. As students worked in 2 different time zones, Kent State students being on East Coast time and Chico State students on West Coast time, there was a 3-hour delay. Many students had issues with this difference. A few complained that group members missed online meetings, and several had scheduling issues. And finally, roles and responsibilities became problematic as students had to negotiate who was to conquer specific tasks. Many students did not understand their role within the project. Nearly half had duplicated efforts on one task, and some tasks were left unfinished. And finally, members did not share responsibilities on several occasions. Students used several types of communication and sharing methods. The most common tools were Google Docs, Google Wave, and Google Groups. Vimeo and YouTube allowed students to post videos in an online arena. File sharing was facilitated through Dropbox. Blogs were used by several groups, specifically Blogger and Blogspot. Blogs were an excellent means to collaboration, as the groups could document comments, decisions, feedback, and work in progress. Email was a common tool, and one group even had a telephone conversation. We found that many students use between 1 and 3 collaborative tools. There seemed to be a correlation between students with successful learning experiences and the use of additional collaboration tools. Students that use less tools tended to have a negative experience. In the future, I would begin a project of this nature by first assisting students in identifying roles that went beyond leader. We all know the design world is not made up of art directors and supervisors. We have many roles and responsibilities that begin with the nitty-gritty work that must get accomplished. I would suggest students identify an animator, an illustrator, a project manager, and a concept developer. Students should have an agreement on a system of communication from the project onset. This will clarify how students will work throughout the project. With this agreement, students should decide how and when they will respond to one another. Communication is key, so keeping each other updated and in the loop is essential. Finally, software tools should also be consistent. Students should be working within the same application, as work will be easily transferred and shared by the whole group. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Feel free to send questions and comments to my email address at grinnert@kent.edu.